There's something particularly immersive in The Lord of the Rings The Two Towers game, starting with the actual prologue footage from The Fellowship of the Ring. While the release coincides with that of the second film, the first one lacked a tie-in, so this game acts as a double feature of sorts. It feels like sliding a DVD into a player. We're watching The Lord of the Rings, until the live-action footage transforms into video game 3D. Suddenly, we're controlling Isildur, fighting orcs at the slopes of Mount Doom. We're in the movie now. The game looks, sounds, and feels like the film. Almost. Aragorn, for example, seems so bored like he doesn't want to be here.
I am Isildur's heir, not Isildur himself. My fate is my own.
The whole process of the video game construction and building of it is new to me. They're fighting things and ninja things, I don't know.
Still, The Two Towers accurately depicts most of the tiniest source material's details, even the color grading. That being said, the game doesn't actually immerse you into the world of Middle-earth, into the story and themes of The Lord of the Rings. The Two Towers is a product, says so right on its cover, official product of the movie trilogy. It can't exist outside the film's context. It's a companion piece for fans or anybody wanting an interactive extension of the movie. Even the interface reflects this, resembling DVD menus with behind-the-scenes features. It's as literal a tie-in as possible, something that ties into the movie-going experience, and even more explicitly, markets it. With the game releasing 2 months before the film, it's almost like an extended trailer with a bunch of temporarily exclusive movie footage used in cutscenes. But if you have zero prior Lord of the Rings knowledge, you won't get any here. The game doesn't even mention until the very final cutscene that the hero's ultimate goal is to destroy the One Ring in Mount Doom. The Two Towers just assumes you know everything you need to, jumping set piece to set piece with barely any context. It's unclear why the game bothers with the framing device of Aragorn recounting their journey to Elwyn, or maybe he's just that terrible a storyteller. Sure doesn't sound like he cares.
Despite Boromir's heroism, the servants of Saruman captured members of our company, but we would not abandon our companions to torment and death.
No, The Two Towers is for those wanting epic fights within the film's decorations. That it delivers in spades. The combat is thrilling, if shallow, easy to learn, and not difficult to master, outside of a few required workarounds to the problematic aspects of an otherwise solid and responsive gameplay foundation. We string speed, fierce, and push attacks into combos to increase the kill rating and get more experience points required for purchasing new moves. Filling the combo meter on hit triggers the temporary perfect mode for maximum damage and kill rating. There's also situational moves like parrying, firing projectiles, and finishing downed enemies. At the end of a level, we get a final mission ranking based on the accumulated types of kills. Great in theory, in practice there are annoyances, like a small delay when switching to firing projectiles, the inability to cancel final combo animations into guard, frustrating considering enemy attack windups are short, unparryable attacks lacking a visible differentiator, but those pale compared to the real problem: shields. Shielded enemies cancel all speed attacks, even mid-combo. On its own, not a problem, breaking shields is what fierce attacks are for, right? But as the game progresses, it mixes more and more shield bearers into otherwise unshielded groups, making speed attacks actively undesirable. Better resort to combos with as few of them as possible. So at first, the optimal play is spamming the Death Charge combo as soon as you get it. Speed attack, push, and fierce attack. With only one speed attack, it's easier to manage. Further down the line, we unlock Judgment, the best combo in the game. Fierce attack, push, fierce attack. Zero speed attacks, so abusing the hell out of that combo easily nets a perfect rating. At least when playing as Aragorn or Legolas, Gimli kinda gets shafted. It's cool that The Two Towers tries to differentiate its 3 playable characters. Legolas is very fast with high bow damage but low melee damage and health. Gimli has massive health and damage but is slower. Aragorn is the middle ground but has long melee reach. Despite having only a few unique passives each, all combos are shared, this creates very effectively distinct playstyles to such frantic action gameplay. However, there is one big problem. The combo meter that defines the kill rating and therefore experience points and mission ranking is based on hits, not damage. This is particularly important for combo finishers since they are area of effect hits. But high damage Gimli just kills too damn fast, and his reach is so short that every time perfect mode does get activated, it's a process of scrounging for survivors to get at least some perfect kills. Getting high rankings as Gimli requires bizarre tactics, running past enemies to later gather them into a bigger group, avoiding hidden enemies until the end of the combo so they don't die too soon, and relying on kills from explosions. Those don't trigger kill ratings, so you can use that strategy to avoid diluting the hard-earned perfect kills. Netting experience points as Gimli is a pain, and passive damage upgrades are actively detrimental. Legolas is the opposite. Fast with low melee damage, he reaches perfect mode quickly and then can one-shot crowds with his bow. Aragorn isn't as effective, but his longsword keeps enemies at a safer distance, allowing for consistent combos. So the characters aren't equally valid. At least all of the 12 campaign levels are pretty short, under 10 minutes, so it doesn't take much time to replay them or try out with different characters. Regrettably, for such a small amount, the mission quality varies. The best focus on massive fights with minimal gimmicks. The standouts are Balin's Tomb, Amon Hen, Plains of Rohan, the Westfold, and the Deepin Wall. Lots of action, and the additional goals like pushing ladders of the walls of Helm's Deep before it is overrun, or saving folk in a Rohan village, add variety without being annoying. This is the Two Towers at its best. You may not have to think or strategize much, if at all, constantly spamming the same combo, but it's still exhilarating, fast-paced, atmospheric action. The tutorial slopes of Mount Doom and Weathertop levels, alongside more adventure-paced Gates of Moria and Fangorn Forest, are just fine enough. Nothing special, but enjoyable. Then there are the bad missions. Gap of Rohan is an incredibly frustrating boss arena against Warg Riders, but it has nothing on the Breached Wall and Hornburg Courtyard. In those levels, you protect doors and gates from endless waves of enemies with zero checkpoints and multiple complications. The Breached Wall at the end requires to quickly destroy a well-guarded catapult. And Hornburg Courtyard makes you run between gates and walls to help allies and kill archers, while the flooding enemy army gets reinforced with berserkers and trolls. Yet even these frustrating missions still feel incredibly epic. This is what makes the Two Towers enjoyable, not the combat system as evidenced by the bonus Tower of Orthanc level, a 20-floored gauntlet beating which unlocks Isildur, essentially a stronger reskinned Aragorn. That mission focuses only on the combat mechanics, and they are just not enjoyable enough on their own without the film-like experience surrounding them. And even that film-like experience is not always consistent. A bunch of weird moments regularly pop up, the funniest being the Rohan soldiers' walking animation. They're apparently not used to being off their horses. At the end of the day, is any of that a deal breaker? No. The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers is short, shallow, mechanically flawed, and lacks a proper skill ceiling. It's not for those interested in mastering intricate gameplay, but it delivers epic, mindless fun for any The Lord of the Rings movie fan willing to embrace the Legolas shield surfing moment as the heart and soul of the experience. Thematically, it may not have anything to do with the source material, but honestly, that spectacle is more than enough for some good, exciting, memorable times.